All right, so here we go. Find the length of I shouldn't say interval, but just line segment AB. We actually were doing this last time, interestingly. We did some distance formula problems last time. Is that what you guys are using in the classroom as the distance formula, or are you using the Pythagorean theorem?
Both.
Both? Okay, which do you prefer if you have a preference?
Um, I don't have a preference.
Okay, so I like the distance formula when you have the two endpoints because you don't have to then really mess with anything else. But some students don't like uh, the distance formula because of the subscripts. It's really up to you. So we
Okay.
got x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, square rooted. I may have written it where the y term came first in the previous time we did. It doesn't matter because you're adding. So, uh, give that a try, please.
All right. I have BA equals 5.
Yes, the distance is 5. Good. So the alternative way is to use Pythagorean theorem. You have to figure out this is 3, this is 4, and then A, B, and C. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. It's kind of an amazing thing that this worked. Um, so you have 25 equals C squared and C equals 5. All right, let's look at another problem here. Notice that you get the graph over there's a couple here that they already had. Um, them drawn. So let's do this. So here it says to find the length of AB to one decimal place. Now, are you guys allowed to use a calculator yet in the class, or are you using one?
Um, we haven't, well, we haven't really used them yet, like in
Okay.
questions, but we all have them.
Okay. Well, yeah, yeah, we all. So don't worry about rounding here. I just want you to use either the distance formula or the Pythagorean theorem to solve for the length of AB. And your answer will be the square root of something.
All right. Okay, I have a square root of 45.
Right. Do you know how to reduce a root? Yeah.
Um, I don't think so. I'm not sure actually.
Mhm. Here's the final answer. Is this something that you know how to do? We have not talked about it. That's why I'm asking.
I'm not really sure.
Okay. It's not important right now. It's something we should do at some point, but your teacher is going in an odd order here. So, all right. So here's what I'd like you to make a graph of this triangle ABC on your paper there. If you have a ruler, maybe make the line straight. There's something important here I'd like to do with you when you've got it graphed. So just to take a moment to make that as clean as you can.
All right, I have it.
Excellent. All right. So I'm gonna graph it here as well. All right. So A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's A up there somewhere. B on it down there. B and then C minus 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So there's C. You have a triangle that looks something like that on your paper there.
Let me write the points real quick. All right. I made my graph just a bit too small, so I'm just gonna make it bigger. right, I have my triangle now.
Okay, the reason I was emphasizing this so much is we're going to draw. Let's say we want to find. So we're going to start by. Sorry, let me back up here. There's three things that they're going to want you to find: the length from A to B, A to C, and B to C. And to do this on the coordinate plane here, we're going to draw three right triangles. So here's a right triangle of side of length 3 and 9. Okay, so to find AB, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. You're going to take 3 squared plus 9 squared. Is that okay how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
It's always the square root to get the result, and then can you tell me what this is, please?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I didn't ask. Don't rush.
Oh, so that's wait, 90.
Yep, square root of 90. All right, let's look at the another right triangle here for AC. This is 2. Its other length is 8. They're always positive. So one of the advantages of doing triangles, Pythagorean theorem, is that it's always positive numbers. Can you tell me what this simplifies to, please?
68 square root of 68.
Good. Probably figure out where I'm going from here. What are the side lengths in this triangle for finding? We're going to find BC. What are the side lengths?
Uh, 12, 8.
Look up here at the top. 8 and 3. What does that tell you
Oh,
about this?
oh, whoops.
Yeah, there's always kind of a shortcut, right? You can kind of look at the other information. The whole thing is 9. This is 2, which is 7.
Okay.
So 7 squared plus 11 squared.
Um, that's 160.
Try again. 121 and 49.
Oh, 170.
Okay, very good. Right. Good job on that. Uh, so do you like drawing the triangles? What do you think of that approach there?
Um, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we did that in class,
Well, what does your
but
teacher just this is the only way to do this and have it make sense. Uh, you don't have to answer that. That's me being me. Right. So if you got some more room, I would like you to draw this triangle on your paper. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to draw big triangles or the right triangles around it if we need to. And
Okay, I have the triangle.
Right. Let me kind of draw here. The minus 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's E. F is minus 3, 3. And G is 4, minus 3. So one of the nice things about this triangle is whenever you see horizontal or vertical lines, you can just count to get the side lengths. Agreed?
Hmm.
Okay. So, can you give me the distance from E to F and then F to G and then find the last one for us?
Okay. So A to F is 7, and F to G is also 7.
Okay. So can you find E to G for us?
Okay. I have the square root of 98.
Very good. Okay. All right. So we're going to move into something else that's common in these triangle problems. I'm just looking for from another student here. Here it is. All right. All right. So here we go. All right. Want you to do this again, but we're gonna do something totally different. Uh, Make it nice and big and clean. Maybe go to a fresh sheet of paper if you're in between. How are you doing on this one? The graph, just the graph of this. We don't have to do anything else, just the graph.
Yeah, so I'm still making it. I'm almost done.
Okay. All right.
All right, I have the graph done.
Excellent. Okay. So here is what I've got for a graph here. There's A, B is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's B, and then C is down there, something like that. Does that kind of look like what you've got for your graph?
I need to write the dots.
Okay.
All right, yeah, that looks like what I have.
All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is what's called median line AM. Whoa, that's terrible. AM. Any idea what a median is? Kind of talked about that a little bit, but any idea?
Um, I don't know. Like,
Okay, so the median is like the midpoint. Okay, so the
mhm.
median line, I'm going to draw it here, and don't draw this because you're going to want to do better than mine. Is a line. It goes through A. Well, that's not very good. Um, like that. So it splits this in half, and that's point M right there. All right, so we're going to learn how to create this median line today. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
It's like, yeah, I don't have much choice. Yeah. Right. So it's a recipe. Step one. Oh, by the way, I baked uh, cookies from scratch, chocolate chip cookies from scratch the other day. It was a really good reminder of how much fun it is to get in there and bake. And took a while to get their cooking time down, but it kind of perfected. All
That's
right. So
cool.
step one here is the midpoint between B and C. Okay. B and C. So that's a formula. We did that last time. I'm happy to write it down. Maybe you can just figure it out. Where's the middle of these 2 points?
So, like, to find out, would I be subtracting the uh x x's with, and then also subtracting the y?
It's the average. The midpoint is like the average. It's the x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. So you take the two x values, you add them together and divide by 2. Take the two y values, add them together and divide by 2. We did that a little bit last week. 4 and 8 divided by 2, 6 and -2 divided by 2.
So would that be just 6, 2?
Yes. And so now on your graph, I want you to put a dot at 6 comma 2. And
Okay.
if you've got a ruler, I'd label it M like I've done here. And if you've got a ruler, draw a line between those 2 points.
I don't have a ruler, but I could try my. I could just
Just
draw lines still.
just draw it as best you can. Like make it look reasonable. Still is the point.
All right.
So does it look like it's cut BM and MC? Like are those congruent in your, does that look congruent when you're,
Yeah.
okay, that's good. All right. So now the second thing we have to do here is we have to find the slope AM. So you have choices here. Because you have the graph, you can count, or you can use the slope formula. Do you remember the slope formula?
Uh.
Don't worry, I'm putting it down here on the paper. Um,
Yeah.
see, this all comes back, right? Like it's not like, oh, I'll, forget it after I leave the lesson. Like it really all blends back together. So worth some note cards. You can forget it when you're done with math forever, but right now you got to keep kind of grinding away here. So give me the slope. Either do the rise over the run or use the slope formula from A to M.
Okay. Um, wait, would that, wait, um, would that be like -3?
The slope is positive. It's going up and to the right. And so what I'm
Yeah, but
trying to say kindly is to double check your answer because it's got to be a positive number. So if you're doing it by ends 2 minus 0 over 6 minus 0. You know, x1, y1, the 0 here down here is x1 and y1, 6 and 2 is x2 and y2.
oh, 3.
Try again. What do you have on top? What do you have on bottom?
Uh, 2 is on top.
Okay, 6 is on bottom. So 6 divided by 2, that is absolutely 3, but that's not what we're doing here. We're doing 2 divided by 6. The order matters. It's not like baking, right? You got to mix things in the right order. You got to preheat the oven. You got to do all that stuff. The order matters here. What does this reduce to?
Uh,
You're dividing the top and bottom by 2.
wait, so like 1/3.
Yes, yes. Now, remember I went back and I said it's rise over run. Like how much up are you going? How much to the right are you going? From A to B, you're going up 2, and then you're running 6.
So it would be
Which
1
reduces,
comma 3.
no, the slope. Slope is a number. Slope is a number.
Oh, wait, so the slope can be a fraction?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see.
All right. So now we've done a lot, but let me try to summarize what we've done so far. We have a slope of 1/3. And then we know that it goes through points A and M. So A is 0, 0, M is 6, comma 2. Do you remember any equations of a line?
Mm, no,
Here is a common one. I think we've looked at this. You remember us looking at that y equals mx plus b?
I think so.
All right. So let's use the slope of 1/3, and we're going to put that into this equation here. Y equals 1/3 x plus b. To determine b, we have to find an x and a y. An x and a y. So do we have an x and a y here from either of these points?
Um, we have an x 0.
Right, and y 0. We can use either point. You can think of these as x's and y's.
Yeah.
So let's put those in. Let's put 0 in for x and 0 in for y. What is anything times 0?
0.
0 equals 0 plus b. So b equals 0, that goes back in here. Y equals 1/3. And this is the equation of the median line.
Wait, how does y equal 1/3 when it was multiplied by 0 and it became 0?
We're using the point to find the value of b. So once we find the value of b, we put it back into the original equation, and this is the final equation.
So it's just like 3x plus 0 equals just, I mean, sorry, 1/3 x plus 0 just equals 1/3 x.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you add, like, we don't write, oh, it's 7 plus 0. We say it's 7. We just give the final result. Because we presume, who knows if it's reasonable or not, that everyone actually understands what we're talking about, which in real life is dangerous assumption. I think that people are thinking about things. So, right. So we're going to go back to this same drawing. I have the advantage here that I can sort of grab it and kind of reset some of the things here. So just going to remove a few things. All right, we're going to do a similar calculation here. For this problem, we're going to find the median CN. And I'm only switching letters because I don't want you to be confused when you look back in your notes about, does M always mean between B and C? It's just, I'm just choosing another letter. The median line goes through C and through the opposite side. Okay. All right, so step one here is to find the midpoint between A and B.
Okay. And was the midpoint formula
So I'm gonna show you some grace here. Let's get you to write this one down, midpoint formula, and make sure you write the slope down. I'll do that next as well. Have you have that on, get that down there. We all need grace every day.
all right. I have that one written down.
Let's get you to get the slope formula down. That's the next biggie.
All right.
And then the last one is this y equals mx plus b. Make sure you've got that right down.
Okay.
Okay, so give me the midpoint between A and B, please.
Uh, 2 and 3.
2, 3. All right, so now label that point on your graph. Well, if it's convenient, hopefully it's not too messed up.
Okay.
All right, now that's N. I'm calling that N. The second thing we talked about doing is you're going to find the slope. This time it's N to C. It's always left to right. Just like we read, just like we do things in this country, it's left to right. you can either count, your rise over your run, or you can use the slope formula. Either one is fine with me. Will you calculate the slope though for us, please? And it should be a negative number because it's going down and to the right, like that.
Okay.
You got a slope for me?
I have 6/4.
Okay, it should be on top, -2, -3. And on the bottom would be the 8 -2. Sounds like you've got maybe some flipped or numbers didn't get in the right place.
Oh wait.
X1, Y1, X2, Y2, something like that.
Oh, I have. Oh, I did the 0, 0, and 4 and 6.
Okay. So N and C, right? N and C, go ahead and redo that calculation. It is down here.
So -5/6.
It's -5/6 is great. All right, so to write the equation of the line, what's the equation of the line that we're using?
Uh, mx plus b.
Okay, and what we just calculated is the slope. So we have y equals -5/6x plus b, like that. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to use the point 2, 3. All right, so that's x, that's y. We're going to put those values in. So it's 3 equals -5/6 times 2/1. You can always write a number as being 2/1. I want you to multiply this fraction and simplify it for me, please.
Of 5/3.
You said -5/3? Is that
Oh
what you
yeah,
said?
oops, I just forgot to say the negative in front.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, so now this is really 3/1, and it ends up being 9/3. The reason we do that is to make it easier to combine with the fraction. So it
Mm-hmm.
ends up being 14/3 equals b, and that goes back way, way up here. Still going up. Right there. B is 14/3, which means it's y equals -5/6x plus 14/3, like that.
Okay.
All right. So there are three types of lines that you're going to learn. The first is the median line. The second is what's called an altitude. So I'll draw a couple of altitudes for you. So the altitude comes straight down. It's sometimes in the circle, sometimes it's not in or it's not in the triangles. It comes straight down. Sometimes it's outside, but it always meets at a 90-degree angle. All right. And then the third one is what's called a perpendicular bisector. Have you heard of this before?
I don't. I mean, I might have,
Okay, so
but
we
like,
take a we take a triangle like this one, and what it does is it cuts in half whatever side you have, but it doesn't necessarily go through the vertex. So
okay.
you'll see that in a future class.
Hmm.
Okay, we are all out of time. Good job today. Do you get a fall break next week or anything like that? Any changes to the schedule?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, we're still on for next week then. Just wanted to check. Thanks so much, Hudson. We had a great lesson today. Appreciate you having something ready for us, and we'll just do it again next time. So I'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.